So hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Jason Masker with Stratascale. We are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Faker Zouaoui, Chief Analytics Officer at Asurion. Faker, how's it going today?
Good, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Culture is important both for project success and retaining the talent. And I hear that so much. So can you say any more about that? Like what are the key things to driving a culture across the business that's data driven and that's really set up for success like that? I know I talked to some individuals that struggle with that on their teams, right? And with their organizations.
Yeah, no, culture is key. And as I mentioned, it's not necessarily even culture within the team, it's culture in context with the business units. So when I mentioned earlier that key ways we engage with the business before even I mentioned anything about analytics is how we can engage very deeply and build strong collaborative relationship with their organization at multiple levels. Not only the top leader with which we prioritize, but also the people every day that are building products or even the experts or call center agents, if you will, that talk to customers every day. That is part of the forum of people we go to understand how is the experience, how can we change it. So the culture of integration with the business and finding that model. I mentioned hub and spoke because my teams usually do not sit together. They sit with proximity to with the business units. Depending on the problems they work on, that's where they think. Because we have a variety of problems. I gave you some examples around the organization of what we call customer solution, which is the people that talk to customers every day. We have another organization of supply chain and logistics. Which sits in a different location. So we have people sitting with them every day, understanding the different challenges of supply chain problems and domains. So that part is probably the key of the culture. The talent we understand and try to diversify from a variety of background, because as I mentioned, many people think it's one data science, or if you find it, you hire all. It's very broad in a sense. There is areas like optimization. There is areas like machine learning and natural language processing. So I see diversity not only from ethnicities or gender, but also from education backgrounds and variety. And finally, how we reward people. So those are things that people, not everything is around the compensation and money. I know it's important, but there are other ways into how we reward people, encouraging them for their creativity, sharing a lot of programs into ACE rewards and recognition in a variety of tools of their initiative. So that's an important component of the culture too.
That's great. Well, Faker, you've obviously been at this a while with Asurion. You've had a number of years here, and it sounds like things are going well for you with building the culture, the team, the projects. Any words of wisdom? I'm sure there's viewers out there watching thinking, they'd just like to be where you are right now. Any advice as to what to focus on, first, second, third, as you're beginning a program or beginning a transition to be more data-driven within an organization?
Yeah, no, thanks for the question. I think a couple of things that comes to mind. One, the good news for a lot of leaders, chief data officers or chief data and analytic officers is I used to get, and probably several of them used to get in their early efforts is, what is AI? That was a common question that many people used to ask 5-10 years ago. It's great that's no longer a question. Even in our chat today, we did not discuss what is machine learning, what is AI. I think a lot of senior executives and companies now do appreciate it, and they do believe and understand that is required to drive the business growth and strategy. However, some of the new challenges and things that I will ask a lot of colleagues that probably at different maturity levels in their journeys is around scaling and adopting AI across the business. It's a new challenge. Some of the cultural aspect of engagement with the business are key, but also the ability to assess and prioritize the various analytical application against those strategic objectives will become critical for the future success of AI at any company. So I would say watch for those and try to evolve your strategy that may focus a lot on building the foundation at the beginning and the people and the culture. But before you know it, you will see you're trying to find the future strategy of how you can adopt and scale, because the value is there. And I truly believe we will hear a lot of more of success of these technologies and these teams in the future, driving impact and value to the company, to every company.
Well, thank you, Faker, for joining me today. And please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews.